Hello there. Has this ever happened to you? I don't know whether you can pick that up, but it says operating system not found. In other words, the hard drive has, well, stuffed itself. Now this is a very, very good computer, and today I'm going to show you how to fix a quite modern computer. This is only, what, 4 years old, something like that, for $50, because a new solid state hard drive, this particular one's 500 gig, and in Australia here I've had it delivered to my house within, what, 3 days off eBay for $50, and I can repair this computer fully for $50. So I'm going to show you how to do it. So before you ever touch anything electrical, it is important for you to totally disconnect it. But in this case, okay, it's still you still need to disconnect from the mains power. But this has an external power source. So what that means is it's main power in and DC power out. So it's AC power in, DC power out into the computer, because a computer runs on DC power, direct power, the same sort of power that your car runs on, unless you've got an electric car, then that's a little different. Normal petrol powered cars have a DC electrical system, and it is harmless. Okay, right, so let's make a start. Okay, now then, the tools that you will need are very simple. A couple of standard flat bladed screwdrivers, see them? And just a couple of Phillips or crosshead, can you see them? Crosshead screwdrivers. Okay, small ones, nothing too big and elaborate. And what's most important is some lollipop sticks. You'll see when they come in handy in a minute, because you know you don't want to damage this plastic casing at all, and the manufacturers do make it, or try to make it, a little difficult for the average person to, shall we say, do anything with. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4 Phillips screws that we will quickly undo. Of course, different computers have different arrangements, but this is pretty typical. This is, in fact, there's a Sony, Hewlett-Packard, virtually the same as is Dell, and they're some of the main ones. Toshiba as well, and they come out fairly easy. Okay, so now the next thing to do is to take this off. Now there are clips, shall we say, around here that are molded into the plastic. So what is necessary to do is get a screwdriver and try not to damage it. Okay, hear it popping out? Get a lollipop stick and okay, put your lollipop stick in there to keep it out, otherwise it'll clip back in. Get another lollipop stick, and there are little areas where you can put a screwdriver or something in, or even a lollipop stick, to ease it up like this. Of course, when you can hear it. The cracking is not the plastic case cracking, it's the little sort of recessed clips that are coming undone. Might sound nasty, but hey, your computer's already had it. There you go. It's undone. So it's not broken. It is, I'll show you, it's these clips. Here, 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 they're all over the place. Okay? That are coming undone. Alright, so set that aside. Now then, for those of you who are interested, this is your RAM. Okay? They normally never go wrong. This is what you're after inside here. Now this is your hard disk drive. Notice I said disk because there's actually a metal or a series of metal spinning discs that are coated with silver, and there's a pickup like a gramophone, you know, like an old record pickup that skates over the top. And what normally happens is the pull, or the little finger that's microscopic, welds itself to that disc or one of the discs inside. Once that happens, there is nothing you can do. Any work, anything you got saved on there is gone. Unless you want to pay upwards of $500 for an engineer to try, no guarantee, and retrieve the information off it. Okay, so now we've got that established. There's 1, 2, 3, 4 screws that need to be, that was a bit big, need to be just slackened off like this. And this. This. And this. Okay. Okay, we're loose. So we just pick it up. Now be very careful because there are a couple of connections here. So you just pull this out, and they're quite short. Quite short cables. Now there's a little bit of plastic here, but sometimes that will break off when you're trying to undo them. But just wiggle it back and forth, pull the plug off, and same with this one. This one needs a bit of help. Like that. Okay, so this is the power and this is the information plugs, okay, that plug into the hard drive. So that is a 1 terabyte hard drive, which is now totally useless. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4 little screws to undo to release it out of the tray. It's not a good idea, is it? So I'm going to try and not drop it inside the computer there, so I'll do it slightly over this side. And it's advisable not to actually touch anything with your fingers inside here, because your body sort of builds up static electricity, and that can sometimes affect things like motherboards and RAM and other things. Okay. So now that's free of the carriage, and now that's junk. And if you look on the underside here, this is the power into the motor inside here. There's a little pancake motor inside there that spins very fast, 7 to 10,000 RPM in fact, which is now totally useless. Okay, now I'm going to try and find something to, hang on, let's get the new one out. So this is a solid state. Okay, in other words, it's very similar to the RAM, but very much bigger. But it's a very, very similar affair. It's full of memory chips like this inside this plastic casing. If I can open it. Come on. There you go. So that's all it is. And you can see it's the same connection, but it's very small. Okay, and this is what's known as a solid state, or SSD, memory. Okay, so now I have to get some way of attaching this in here, in that position. In actual fact, it's going to be in that position like that. Right there. Now, I have seen people use things like hot glue and things like that. Don't agree with it. It probably works fine. You know, a little bit of hot glue would probably, in fact, do you know what? That's all it probably needs. It's just a little bit of hot glue dab here, 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 and here. That'll be absolutely fine, in fact. So that's what we're going to do. Okay, so make sure you got it in the right position. You don't have to go crazy with this stuff. A little bit of hot glue there. And leave it to dry. Okay, so now that's been 10-15 minutes since I did that. So now we can plug these back in very simply. They'll only go in one way. That's one. And there's the other one. Now we're just putting this back in. Okay. And it's the reverse. Like I say, it's really, if I wasn't recording this job would be done in less than 10 minutes. Okay. You get your, that's it. It's very simple. And if you took this into a repair shop, you notice that just clips back in, you would have a bill for, well, $500–600 maybe. because that's the sort of thing they charge for. And you've done it yourself for $50. Now, you may have to use, if you haven't got a second computer, you may have to use it or ask a friend to log on to the Microsoft website and use their computer to download, I suggest Windows 10, in this case 64-bit, and you can load it onto, I've got a 16 gig flash drive here. Goes onto there comfortably. I think it's only something like 6 gig really, and that then is a new operating system that you can put straight in onto this new SSD hard drive, and your computer will be as good as new again. Okay, so that's my next job, and I'll show you how to do that. Okay, so here we are in my office actually. Now I've got my flash drive with Windows 10 on it. Now if you can, you need to put it into a USB 3. It'll work faster in that. But if you haven't got a USB 3, USB 2 is fine. And you put that in before you switch the computer on. Okay, so what we need to do now is, as I turn the computer on, I am going to be pressing F2 continuous until we get well, something from the computer. We should get a list in that enables us to go to choose a boot device. Okay, I'll just square the camera up a bit there. Okay, so the one we're interested in is over here. So you use the arrow keys to move across, boot, and we want to boot from an external device which is disabled. So if we press the enter key, we have a choice here to enable it, press enter again, and that's enabled. So we'll come down, external device, and press enter. So we're set on external device and we press enter. So we want to save, so press F4, save it, yes. Okay, it's found it. So we reset the computer from what its normal mode was, booting from an internal device, in other words the hard drive, to booting from an external device, which is the USB. So now we can start the installation of Windows 10. Now I won't go through the whole thing. You just follow the prompts on here, and it will go in just fine for you. Okay, so this first window is saying to you, well, if you've got a product key, put the product key in. Obviously we don't have a product key because we downloaded this Windows 10 on a different computer straight from Windows, so we are selecting I don't have a product key. Windows 10 Pro. Okay. Accept. because there's no memory. It's a brand new device, so there is nothing to save. So now it's just a matter of Windows setting up its files and setting up Windows. Now this takes or can take some considerable time. This is a fairly fast computer, so I'm thinking that this will take probably 10 to 15 minutes. So I'll shut down and bring you back in when it's in. And after about 20 minutes of Windows, sort of going through an installation wizard with you, you putting your personal details in for your internet connection, and voila, Windows 10. And if you wish to upgrade to Windows 11 or whatever you want to do, it's a perfectly working operating system again for $50. So I hope you've enjoyed the video today, and I hope it's helped some of you out. And you may like to like and subscribe and come and have a look at one of my other videos for CNC routing, wood turning, and CNC milling, and even how to make your own CNC machine. So thank you for watching, and until the next time, bye for now.